I have
That
a
is
really
fair.
bad sunburn right now. That's why I'm not doing camera.
Oh, you poor Irish boy.
He's French.
Once again, well, I actually might be Irish because British technically includes Irish.
Nope.
Yes.
Don't tell the Irish that.
Well, British tried to include
you can't
everyone.
tell
Northern Ireland.
I'm gonna refill my water real quick.
The Emerald Isle will have your head.
You guys can go ahead and start.
All right, who wants to give me a recap?
You disrespect me. You disrespect my family.
You eat my house.
Kick my dog.
Kick my baby.
Kick my baby.
Punch my wife.
You call us stinky poopy babies.
those memes have never been better.
Yes. We met Nick and Nak, aka Ziki and Samira, the two human children who were thought to have been captured by city guards when Tick and Tack were fleeing from their sabotage mission at the docks. We discovered that not only do they work for Heaven's Tower, but the kids got skills. Nick is a little bitty wizard. He can cast disguise self. And he has a wand. It's fantastic. They
You
also
should have heard the fucking heated debate about how old you should be to cast magic after you left.
Yeah, I do need to send that to him.
Some
That sounds
discussion.
intense.
There's a very long discussion.
I consider spellcasting to be like college level. So if Darian wants to say he's been casting like that since he's 6, he has to be one of those freaking prodigy kids who like finished college by the age of 9.
Oh, get off your high horse.
I need a step stool, unless you're offering to help me down.
I've got your back.
Can I have my spine, please?
No, I need it for the
Screw
collection.
you, I'm funny.
I need that. I only need 400. I only need 1, 2, 3, 4. I only need another 156 bones. I need this one.
Fair.
Darian getting desperate. Y'all gotta get the bones.
What do you mean he stole your bones?
Can I get that pizza boneless? What are you doing? No.
You got any bones? He jumped me for my bones. Do you mean he jumped your bones? No, he jumped me for my bones.
It should not be that funny.
Tore out his skull and started beating him to death with it. Isn't that physically impossible? That's what he was saying. This is physically possible. This is physically possible.
Next,
Red versus blue back in the old days.
Next said the Vinzoli are employing someone named Oren Guman.
Gooman.
Darian
has a friend.
And that they were being held in the same safe house. He had something to do with the gravity-defying crystal. And they gave us direction to the safe house because we insisted the children not be present for what could potentially be a very violent break-in. And then we decided we were going to do a reconnaissance first. So we snuck over to that part of town. Along the way, Darian almost got caught by the Manzoli until he turned into a fart cloud with the most extra, like, boyhood multi-class into Bard with that escape. Was wonderful. I applaud him. And in fart cloud form, he snuck into the house. And while we all watched from across the street, he took solid form, befriended Orin, convinces Orin, the gnome inventor, that life is worth living, and convinces him to crawl into the bag of holding for their escape. Orin takes his working model prototype of a magical flying ship with him. They don't quite zip line across from one house to the other thanks to a rope arrow from Rin, who is slowly turning into Green Arrow, maybe? Or Hawkeye?
No.
No, I'm just messing with you, dude.
Neat.
Oh, while we were waiting for Darian to come out, Rin did make pop seeds. Since we cannot
Popcorn.
confirm, we
Fuck
couldn't.
you, I said they were corn seeds.
I never got full confirmation, so I apologize. I just have a note about seeds. So and then the plan was to head home, I believe. Although it sounds like various party members all have very different ideas about which way they're going next. I believe that's where we left off. Anything I missed? Any amendments to make
I shot
besides
a kid.
the popcorn? You shot a kid?
It's a reference.
Okay. We killed Vinny.
Yes, you killed Vinny and put the lady dwarf who you'd been talking to and never found out the name of in the crab cage that she had been keeping the kids in, and dropped her in the water after
And then walked away.
having successfully knocked her out instead of killing her.
Mm-hmm.
Rin never claimed to be a pacifist.
I cannot be held responsible for Rin's actions.
I was busy
Rin
taking
can't be
care of
held
the kids.
responsible for Rin's actions. He never knows what he's about to do.
And as we drop back in, the team is still in the guild district of Corizo. You have a gnome in your bag. You have a couple minutes left before you start suffocating. Four of you, you three and Zafir, are all planning to make your way out of this area, but to who knows where. All right, and where are you planning on going?
I believe everyone's made eye contact at this point, right? Or is grouping up together?
Rin is currently walking over the peak of the rooftop that you're on after having heard Liberty's voice from the street.
Okay.
Yeah, you're up on the roof at the moment, and me and Zafir are on the ground.
Right. Do you remember if Darian knows? I don't think Darian knows where Zafir and Liberty are.
I believe so, because I think you told him, Zafir, let's go home.
Yeah, Zafir and Liberty spoke. Zafir, Liberty, and Darian all spoke
Oh,
at the
okay.
end of last session.
So should we go to one of the safe houses, or should we just go home? I don't know if that is compromised currently, since they brought us a message directly.
Rin's head pops back over the peak of the roof. Follow. Oh, sorry. Follow.
Alright, that answers that. Yeah, he's got a few more minutes. Let's get a bit further away.
Really pushing that old man's constitution.
Darian's mentally counting down. Darian knows he has 7 minutes currently, so he's gonna keep mental count of that.
All right, so Darian, you're keeping track of time. Rin,
Yes.
where did you say you're headed?
Say again?
Where did you say you are headed?
I am leading them, follow the leader style, to a safe house I know of.
All right.
Well, one of the several I've set up over the city.
Right, make a history check.
Oh God, history. That's something that
Survival would also work.
oh God, history. It's a skill. That is a 12.
12? Okay. You have one near here, but
Near-ish.
it's near-ish. You have a credit section in the entertainment district, which is little over half a mile to the west over the wall there, and then about a quarter mile in there's an old abandoned building that you've been able to commandeer the attic of.
Okay.
All in all, it's probably going to take you 20 minutes, give or take complications.
I guess the rest of us are following.
Are you guys taking the rooftops or are you taking the streets?
Is Rin sticking to the rooftops as he's leading the
Rin's
way?
sticking to the rooftops, but if he knows you two are following, he'll walk just slowly enough that he can flick his tail the direction he's going over the edge of the roof each time you guys can see him.
All right.
We'll probably follow from the street then. At least Zafir and I.
I will have everyone make stealth checks. Rin, with you being on the rooftops, I believe you will have advantage.
Well, my first roll was a 25.
That's good.
My second roll is a 16, so 25.
All right.
Darian is also on the roof.
40.
Okay, then you'll also have it. Make an acrobatics check first.
Okay,
Rin's used to this. You're not so much.
fair enough.
I think Rin made a couple acrobatic checks last session to solidify this.
He was on top of the acrobatics.
Total of 19.
All right, you'll also get advantage on the stealth check as you're more or less keeping pace with Rin.
16.
14
right.
for Liberty's stealth check.
And Zafir rolled. I need to pull up his stats real quick. Zafir rolled a flat 10. You guys begin making your way through the streets, bobbing and weaving through around buildings or above them. You're able to catch glimpses occasionally of Rin as he pokes some part of his body over the edge of a rooftop to be able to guide those on the ground. Darian, you don't have a lot of time. You are keeping track, and it's already been 5 minutes. And you're still on a rooftop, which is probably not going to be the best thing for the tiny legs gnome.
Okay. Rin, I'm going to need to. Guman only has another minute or two. I don't think he's going to be able to clear these gaps between the buildings. I'm probably going to need to go back down to the ground with them.
So jump. Sorry. So jump.
Darian's gonna.
You think he's joking, but he legitimately points at the edge of the roof, and you can sort of see an awning beneath.
Darian's gonna check his surroundings and. Can Darian see any shorter leaps that would be easier than the awning?
I'll say you have a good amount of options. You'd be able to find a way to safely dismount the building.
The awning is safe.
Is there much street lighting in this area?
There is occasionally, mostly at intersections, but for the most part, it's pretty empty. You're passing small groups of people. Occasionally, you'll see a patrol of the Emir's guards, but for the most part, it's a quiet night in this area. You can definitely hear, however, the rowdy noises of men making merry down some of the streets and make pay particular attention to avoid those.
And we're still about a half moon in the sky, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, Darian, you're able to climb down from the rooftop.
Okay. Darian, standing in one of the nearby alleys, is going to lean over and open the bag of holding and have Guman climb out.
All right. You let Guman out, and he, for the first time, begins to see the rest of your party. Stepping out, he says, "Oh, that was it's getting a little worried. I know that there's not a ton of air in there. Thank you for letting me out. Oh, hello, ma'am. My name's Oren Goodman." He goes to shake your hand, Liberty.
Liberty's just very startled and shocked. And she glances at the gnome, but before doing anything with the handshake, she makes eye contact with Darian. You brought him with you.
Darian, when she makes eye contact with him, he kind of holds up his palm reassuringly. Um, I did. He is not a threat.
He is my new best friend.
He's my friend.
Pleasure to meet you, sir. I'm sorry, but this is probably not the best time for introductions. Perhaps when we get out of sight. And gonna keep following Rin for now.
All right. He'll introduce himself to Zephyr as well. Hello, sir. My name's Orin. Zephyr kind of looks at him a little quizzically. My name's Zephyr. To make your acquaintance. Kind of gives you a side eye, Darian. He too wasn't entirely expecting a gnome to jump out of your bag, but like he's pretending not to care.
Odin, my
Like
friend.
any angsty tune.
Odin, my friend. We are still in kind of. There are a lot of Inzoli around. I would try to keep your head down a little bit as we follow it in.
Distantly, you hear the the call of a Mexican spotted owl.
Ooh, I didn't know those were native to this area.
They're not.
Oh, he'll see you for the first time. Just kind of wave a hand, knowing that we're all stealthing.
One of Rin's horns turns into a tiny arm and it waves back.
Oh, that's so disconcerting.
Goodness me. Okay. Well, do we know where we're going?
That's way. And I just point toward Rin.
You get used to him.
Informative. I understand how professionals work, and they tend not to like to explain themselves. I fully get it.
I like this man. Rin didn't say
Something
that. I
like-
did.
Something like that.
Forge has decided to adopt this gnome.
Much like
All right, you
Zephyr,
guys
Rin has
continue.
pretended
He
to
is
not
also.
care.
Orn is now going to roll stealth. Okay. You did better than Zephyr.
Huh.
You guys continue through the city streets. About
What song?
10 to 12 minutes later, you guys turn a corner and where Rin has stopped, and you see a very tall, about 40-foot high wall made of stone. Rin, from your position, you are about 15 or so feet from clearing it on the tallest building that's next to it.
Mm-hmm.
But there's also like a 10 to 15 foot gap between you and the wall.
I see. What is on the other side of the wall?
On the other side of the wall is
From memory.
the edge of the entertainment district. Go ahead and roll me a survival check to know exactly what's on the other side of the wall.
17.
17.
Yep.
On the other side of the wall, you would know that there most of the places out on that side of the entertainment district are a bit more of the shops that tend to support artists who are entertaining in this area. Specifically, there is a shop that deals in paints and makeup. It should be closed at this hour.
What do I know about the physical objects over there? Like do I know of a cleat that I've used to toss like a hook so I can put a rope down or something like that?
Can we repel the wall?
How do I usually get over this wall?
Getting over this wall is always the most difficult part. There's a gate to the north, but that's definitely going to add at least 15 minutes to your travel. You've managed a couple times. There are, I believe the word that I'm searching for, I can't believe I'm even questioning this, is crenellations on the top of the wall.
That is correct.
You've been able to once or twice loop a rope over one of those like a lasso and be able to climb your way up from that, but the rope tends not to be able to reach all the way to the bottom because of the loop. But you normally don't have to deal with that because you're in a rooftop.
Okay. I make a loop. I lasso one of these crenellations.
All right, roll me a sleight of hand dexterity check.
25. Rolling hot tonight, boys.
That'll definitely be enough. Tying a quick knot in the rope, you swing it above your head a couple times to get the weight of the rope and toss it through the air from the base, from the bottom on the road. The rest of you see a rope suddenly fly from the building that Rin is on, attach itself to the far wall, and then tug tight.
Well, this is going to be fun. What sort of building is he on the rooftop of?
This appears to be one of the lesser guild halls, probably more like just a generalized meeting place for rent. It has a bell tower on it, and he's standing on the peak of that.
There's bats around, man. I look really cool.
Those are for when you climb over.
Yeah, the setting sun reflects a dull red gleam in my eyes.
It's like midnight.
The sun set like an hour ago.
It's
2
being
hours
reflected by a series of complex mirrors. Jokes.
Jokes.
Right, so does he expect us to get up to that bell tower, to get to the rope, to get across the wall?
You see Rin kick something and a rope ladder falls down the side.
Of course. Right, after you.
All right. Darian starts to make his way up.
All right, you guys are all able to make your way to the peak of the bell tower. A tiled, slanted roof is describing the foothold that you have. Whereas Rin stands there proudly, a slight smirk on his face, holding a rope that's attached to the far wall.
All right. So who's going across the rope first?
I guess I can, if no one else wants to.
I'll give him a pat on the shoulder, mutter a quick prayer under my breath, and give him guidance.
Wonderful. That's a D4, right?
Yes, I believe it's a D4 to an ability check.
Let's put that over here. Darian's going to make his way across the rope.
Go ahead and make an athletics or acrobatics check for me.
Yeah, I kind of figured. There's a reason Liberty's going last. Or at least.
Rin, what are you tying it? I assume you're tying off your end of the rope.
Correct.
Okay. Just to know what kind of climbing we're doing. It's a D4.
With guidance, it's a 12 total.
Okay. You don't fall. But you don't get over quickly either. It takes about 3 or so minutes for you to bridge the gap. As you make it to the other side, it's a wide path that is on the top of this tall wall, but there doesn't appear to be any guards at the moment.
I'll tap Zephyr as well and give him guidance to go next.
Right.
How to protect your friend?
All right. Zephyr is going to make his athletics check. Oof.
With a D4?
Hold on. He rolled a natural 3. Thankfully, he has a high strength stat. With the D4, that's another 3. So 9 all in all. He takes a little longer than Darian. He's not a Dexy boy. I'll put it that way. It takes him a little while, and he tries to muscle his way through the whole thing, which works, but not super well.
Out of curiosity, is this rope at an incline towards the place we're going?
Yes.
Excellent. Just checking.
We got to climb uphill.
All right, who's
All right.
next?
No, I was asking if we were climbing down.
I will. Oh, okay. I will finally give Orin that handshake and say, "It's good to meet you, Orin. You may call me Liberty. After you." And
Wonderful.
I will give him guidance as well.
Thank you very much, ma'am. All right, here I go. He rubs his hands together and jumps onto the rope. Plus a d4. It's +4.
He rolls a natural
So-
20 and just walks across it like a tightrope.
All in all, he got a 14.
Not bad.
He gets across pretty quickly. He's a nimble little guy. Who's next?
I'll go and I will pray for myself as well.
Okay.
Oh, Mother, bless our steps. Plus
You
a
rolled a
3 on the
natural 20.
D4. I have a 0 modifier for both strength and dex, so it's helpful because that makes it a 23 total.
Hey, that's
with the,
good.
With the D4, yes.
With a natural 20, you slip across, no problem whatsoever. You put Darian and Zephyr both to shame. It takes you like 15 seconds to get across.
Don't need any more excuses for Rin to be annoyed that I'm here.
All right, Rin, you're the last one.
You're gonna
Rin,
Errol Flynn this, aren't you?
well, first I'm verifying. You said that the rope is slanted down towards the place we're going.
No, the rope is slanted up to the place
Damn
that
it.
you're going.
Okay,
The
that's
wall
not
that
bad.
you're going to is taller than the rooftop that you're on.
All right. Well, there goes that plan. Yeah. Okay. You said acrobatics, right?
Yes, but I will warn you. If you make it to the other side, your rope is tied off on this side. You're not going to get it back if you just go across the way everyone else has.
Rin has a plan for that.
All right, what's your plan?
This is not his first rodeo. First off, he has rolled a 22 to go across.
All right.
Once he's across, he picks up a series of, they look like various garments, but they have threads stitched across on each one, and there's a strange weight on the furthest one, and it slides down the rope until it looks like a laundry line.
Nice. I love it.
Jacob, you there?
Hi. Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, good.
You killed him.
What is the purpose of this? I believe that I
To describe the rope that they climbed to make it look like a laundry line.
Oh, perfect. That makes more sense to me then.
Yes.
I thought it was a metaphor, not an actual description.
No. It looks like a magician's handkerchief, but instead of tied together, there's threads holding it together and made of various garments.
Perfect. All right. The rope, decorated. You guys turn to look on the other side of the wall. On the other side of the wall, you got a decent fall. It's still 40 feet. The nearest building, however, most of them closest to that side of the wall are relatively short, making it so that the shortest fall you might have is a 30-foot drop.
Everyone looks to Rin expectantly.
You're gonna have to redo that. I cut out.
There's a
You
30-foot
got-
drop at the shortest spot.
Rin takes down a short ladder. And if you guys have ever seen those Everest documentaries, they use them as bridges sometimes.
Nice.
Sure.
And he basically does that from ledge to ledge.
Rin, how much further is this safe house?
About 10 minutes.
About 10 minutes. Sorry, about 10 minutes. God, it's so weird doing character voice for this guy now.
I'm so proud of you.
Fuck you.
Well, the thing is, if this is where we are staying for the night, Rain is still at home.
I'll get her.
Would you do that? Once we get
I
there.
just said I would.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Oh, good. So glad.
All right, you guys make your way through this part of the city, eventually making it to a small, disheveled building that the attic of which, as you slip in through an upper window, is ever so gently furnished to the point where no one who thinks that this is anything but a old disheveled building would recognize this is actually a safe house. There are a few days' rations in a drawer somewhere. There's some basic supplies here and there, but for the most part, it's pretty sparse. Quiet.
When we get to the safe house, are we in an area that I recognize at all?
Yeah. I mean, you're pretty familiar with the majority of the entertainment district.
Mm-hmm.
Probably like no more than 25 minutes away from home.
Oh, okay. Cool. Liberty is not calm. She's quiet, but she's not calm.
Liberty, are you okay?
This is not exactly my favorite part of town.
I understand.
She raises an eyebrow in a no, you don't, but doesn't actually say anything out loud.
All right, what are you all doing?
Darian, are you going to explain why you brought a man in your bag before or after Rin fetches Rain?
The sooner he brings her here, the better. Rin, if you would.
Rin has already left.
Okay, perfect. Typical, but perfect.
Batman style.
Yeah. It's like, hey, and he's gone.
Now is when you hear the fluttering of bats as they exit one of the windows.
Of course.
Timestamp to add bat screechy noises. That's not a bat.
Yes, I know that's not a bat, but it was worth it. I can make a VeggieTales reference, but I don't think anyone's gonna get it.
Oh, please, do it now. Do it now.
I am
all
the Dark Crow.
Oh my gosh! Yes, the Dark Crow. And then I can't do a good imitation of like the Latin guitar music in the background, but yes, I 100% actually understand that reference.
Latin guitar riff.
Yes, thank you.
I'm mentally picturing Rin actually saying that to himself as he's walking.
No.
Latin guitar riff. Just someone on the street is walking by, just kind of looks behind them back at Rin as he passes.
Did you just say Latin guitar riff?
What's that guy's problem? I should notify Rain. And he gives a low whistle. Najila! And from across the room, a blue portal of energy opens up, and Najila flies through and lands on his shoulder. Darian pulls a small piece of paper and a string and ties a note to her leg. Najila, would you be a dear and go find Rain? And Najila will fly out the nearest window. That way she will at least have some time to prepare. You have met my new friends, Oren. Oren, this is Liberty. This is Zephyr. You've met them, but eh.
Right. Hi.
The reason Oren was valuable is to the Venzoli is because he has been doing research and scientific advancements for them. Actually, and Darian pulls out his bag of holding and kneels down in front of Oren and kind of opens it for him, allowing him to pull out the small model and hand it to Oren.
He'll do so, and as he does so, he'll pull the pull the key that activates the thing, and you'll see what looks like a regular boat made of copper and brass. Extra sails pop out from the bottom, and as he lets go, it seems to just kind of hover in the air.
That is amusing.
I do suppose that's one way of putting it. It is just a model. They're not all going to be the size, obviously, but it is of a proof of concept that I was working on for a long time and had finally gotten the resources to complete. So, yeah, that's Dawn Dre now.
To put it simply, Oren here has achieved large-scale flight and travel, which you can imagine for a port city, let alone any city or mob within the city. This is revolutionary.
Indeed. And he is coming with you because
I don't
decided
know.
to come with you because
Well, I don't really know how to explain that simply.
she
Um,
looks over at Orin and just kind of raises her eyebrows for him to answer the question.
Well, friend here, I was not in a great mental space, I guess. Friend here kind of convinced me that completing one's life's work isn't necessarily the end, and I realized that I was being a little short-sighted. So, in being a little farther-sighted, I decided that it would probably be better not to be working for a uh, group of individuals who had very little moral compass.
Out of character, I'm really disappointed that Rin was not there for Orin to say that he was being so short-sighted. Because I'm a terrible, cheesy person. Indeed. So you have decided to betray your employers. That is very
I mean, to be
brave.
fair, I had already decided to betray my employers before your friend came and helped me out. It just didn't have to be the end.
it would appear that Oren has been altering certain numbers for the Benzoli to their own not exactly benefit.
Destroying them from the inside. Clever.
I suppose, yeah.
He is a very clever person indeed. And I am pleased that he has come to join us rather than the alternatives from earlier.
Indeed.
Well,
So,
I suppose there is little more to do than sit and wait.
Well, if we're just sitting and waiting, I would love to know more about all of you.
Liberty is already inching toward a corner to like sit down and pull out her book.
There's a chessboard there.
Liberty is
Something
not
for
interested in the
entertainment.
chessboard.
Miss
Well, good
Miss
thing there's not
Liberty,
just Liberty there.
Miss Liberty, who are you when you're at home?
Darian cocks an eyebrow and looks at her.
Please tell me that someone here has watched Rosencrantz and Guildenstern Are Dead.
I don't think I can even say that.
It's a good one. It's a spin-off of Hamlet, and it's fantastic. I am a priestess of Amada.
Oh, wonderful! Someone of the cloth. Oh, it's great pleasure, ma'am. Which temple do you frequent?
We don't have a whole lot of temples over here, especially to the more minor gods. There's a shrine
right,
to Amada
yes.
on the other side of the river.
Interesting. And you just moonlight as a savior of small folk.
That is interesting, but not inaccurate choice of words.
Point of order. Brian, did you tell him your name? Does he know who you are? I can't
Me?
remember. No, Darian.
I heard the last half of his name.
He knows Darian's name. Darian
Okay, I thought
formally
so.
introduced himself before he got up from the couch.
That's what I thought. I couldn't remember. I didn't want to just say it out loud without that having already been established.
And he
And
used his
you-
regular name, not Ezekiel.
And you, Mr. Ramtook, you do a lot of this sort of thing? Is this your day job, or?
Believe it or not, I run a bookstore. But as of late, a little bit of side work, such as this. Sometimes certain things just kind of fall into your lap, as it were.
Understandable.
The young man over there, standing solemnly, he's my son Zafir.
Pleasure. Right, yes, Zephyr and I met. And, wait, son?
Adopted.
That does make more sense. And do you have an occupation, Mr. Zephyr? I am a household bum.
Did he say I'm a household problem?
You did now. That's not what he originally said, but it's accurate.
Yeah, I heard a household thumb.
I said household bum.
Ah,
All of the above.
All of the above.
I'm a moocher.
And
I thought it was a weird way of referring to his green thumb habit.
the odd gentleman with the hand horns. Who is
The
who's
horn
this?
Forge, are you questioning what he said? Because that is what you said earlier.
Well, my horny hands.
I can hear the hit points being added to our next foe.
Jacob, don't punish me for them. I can't.
No, I'll
You're
take
all
it,
in this
man.
together.
It's funny and you know it.
If that's how we die, that's fair.
Death by horny hands.
Gods.
That would be Rin. He is kind of an asshole, but unfortunately he is a competent one.
I believe I know the sort.
Like I said earlier, you get used to him after a while. He is at the very least good at his job.
All right. And he went to pick up your daughter. Did I hear that correctly?
Yes, Rain, Zephyr's sister, also adopted.
Okay.
The events
Okay.
leading up to tonight involved Vinzoli personally leaving a note at my door. So we are going to spend a day or two here instead. But she was not home at the time.
I see. Okay. Your house might be not a good place to ever return to in that case. I hope you didn't leave anything too terribly important there.
In the basement. In some barrels.
I think it will be fine in time.
Do you happen to have like personal guards, or I don't mean to assume your station in life, but I'm just
We
trying to
have
think
a
of
few
anything
friends that have been keeping an eye on the property.
His name's Rin, and he's been stuck volunteering.
I was that too. I was referring to the fact that the Heavens Tower has been sending some folk to watch the house. But that's
Yes,
Okay, good.
I will have to
Then that can-
ask Heaven's Tower about that, because unless one of the
Well,
guards
that's
brought the
what
note
it's
to my
doing,
door, that
everything,
shouldn't have
that's
been
fine.
delivered in the first place.
Liberty's in the corner now with her book open, muttering under her breath, right, so I guess we're just telling him everything now. That's fine. This is fine.
Oh, you work with the tower.
Occasionally, our interests are aligned.
Oh, so you're not actual members. Okay.
Liberty gives him just the most. We just had the whole woman of the cloth conversation, and oh, so you're not members. Good. Right.
Oren, I assure you, you are in good hands.
Well,
Man, if you have to say that, there's clearly something up.
well, in the brief time you know me, you've known me, you probably are aware that doesn't matter a ton. I'm honestly more worried for all of you. You've risked a decent amount to pull me out of there, and even if they don't know it was actually you, it probably won't take them a terribly long time to figure it out.
Considering you decided to pull this rescue job the same night that we already pissed them off at the ducks, I'd say we're batting 1,000.
Oh no, you made them angry at the docks. That's a terrible thing. They like their docks a lot. Didn't
Precious! We have to keep him!
kill any of them, did you?
Liberty just looks over at Darian and then turns a page in her book. I
would
did
ask
not
Rin.
kill anyone.
Bitch, don't you put your fucking death of Vinny or whatever it was on me.
You killed Vinny and
I'm only putting
Heavy
one
on
death
cold.
on you. This
You
is a lie
lit
of
him
omission.
on fire.
I did not
You
set
lit
him
a
on
man
fire.
on fire.
Yes,
You
no,
set him
I
on
said
fire.
no. I
Slit
set the
his
sign on
throat with
fire.
ice knife.
Oh, that's right. That's
That's
right.
the
You just
opposite of
stabbed him.
fire.
No, I
right,
put a
you
sign on
stabbed
his neck that was on fire.
You set the sign on fire, and then Darian walked over and stabbed him. That's right.
Yes.
I remember now.
Liberty doesn't know
Darian
that,
took
though.
his life.
Liberty doesn't know about the latter half of that. This is a live omission.
No. Yes.